Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples. Welcome to Sharp Ends. Today, I want to share with you this Ahab from Artisan Cutlery, which is almost a budget knife. This wooden handled scale one comes in at $65, but the G10 one comes in at $51. Um, and this is, a weird looking knife. And I hope that I'm going to be able, and I will be giving it away to my Patreon subscribers in the next couple of months, but I'm going to use it first. I'd like to thank my Patreon subscribers. They make a lot of this possible for me. Any money that you spend on that is going to go towards buying new knives. It's $3 to enter as a Patreon, and then you get a chance to win a knife every month. Anyway, this is going to be a short review of this little guy, which is innovative in a lot of ways, besides its design language, which obviously harkens back to Moby Dick and the fact that this looks like a harpoon that you would throw, right? With wooden handles, it looks like a harpoon you would throw for a whale. So it looks really cool. It's a nice little talking point, and a bland budget knife is a bland budget knife. This is a budget knife with a little bit of pop. And it's innovative in a lot of different ways. Number one, where's the pivot? This little screw is not the pivot. If I were to undo this, you would see a skeletonized liner in here, and you would also see access to the pivot. But that means that you can change the scales, which I think is phenomenal for a budget knife. That's a really cool little feature. And it's something that I haven't seen done on a cheap knife before. There's the banter and the baby banter, but I wouldn't necessarily call those budget knives. They're not as cheap as this, that's for sure. But here, you take this off, and now you have access, and you see how highly skeletonized it is. So this is a very light knife, too. Most of the weight is actually in the blade. That doesn't affect the balance negatively, though. So this is RPM. This metal is AR RPM 9, which is kind of like a powder metal. It is a Artisan Cutlery's in-house powder metallurgy steel, which gives it a very superfine structure inside the steel and makes it have longer edge stability and less voids in it, which could cause breaks and other things, and chipping in the blade or the edge, things like that. I don't think that there's any problem with this kind of steel on this kind of price range. Under $80, D2, CPM D2, or AR or RP, or AR RPM 9, all great. The only thing that's better than that, I think, is going to be something like 14C28N. What else do I like about this knife? Absolutely love these Rosetta thumb studs. They are very nicely done, not sharp, and they look classy. They look so much better than so much of the other stuff out there, the other thumb studs out there. I'm really impressed with that. And the geometry, the way that it opens, I mean, it just flies out of there. This is almost a knife to learn how to flick a knife well, because it's the geometry. What I mean by that is the point between the pivot and where the thumb studs are. I mean, just so little effort is required. Like literally, I'm just pushing out just a little bit with my thumb, and it's just flying open. Very nice. And then you can finger flick it just as easy. So in a way, this is a great knife to learn how to flick with. I also absolutely love their milled clip. You just don't get that in this price range usually. And then I also like how they've hidden the lanyard hole. Anytime they hold, there's the lanyard hole for the three people who are going to do it. There it is. Not reversible, however. I think that it should be reversible. I don't know. I mean, these scales are obviously swappable. You can get other scales for these. I assume. I don't know how much they're actually doing that, but you can make your own scales for it and other things. And I wonder. So there is in the skeletonized hole down here. I'm actually looking inside of here, and there is a hole for. Is there? Oh no, this doesn't reverse. So the lefties, I'm sorry, this is not a knife for you. So that kind of sucks. Sorry about that. This is a nested liner lock, and the way that they've sculpted out this one side gives you nice access. Very nice, easy to pinch up. And there's actually a little bit of jimping down here at the bottom, close to where the sharpening choil is, so that you can kind of choke up on it here. And it feels really nice. And because of the Rosetta, the thumb studs Rosetta, the side of them here, it almost feels like jimping when you rest your thumb up here on top. And that works really well. So overall, I think that this is an amazing deal for what it is. And what I'm going to use it for, honestly, is I'm going to be taking it to the mountain a lot when I go snowboarding. This is a knife that has some style. It's going to cut really nicely. And if I lose it, it's not going to be the end of the world. I'm not going to be taking out some really super expensive knife out there, but I always like to carry a knife, and I like to have one that has a little bit of blade on it too. And this one is just great. It reminds me of Moby Dick. It looks sweet. It has a great, good knife steel for what it is. Good design language. Flicks open really nicely. Um, Basically drops shots like with just a little bit of shake, just goes straight down, and no blade play at all. Perfectly lined up. Just a real nice budget knife, and I'm surprised more people didn't talk about this when it came out. I know that people did talk about it a little bit, but this is something that might stay in my collection, or I might just pass it on to one of my Patreon subscribers. So if you like this, please like and subscribe, and you can follow the link down below to buy one of these, and I do get a small cut of that if you get it through my Amazon link, so just so you're aware of that. And yeah, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate you joining me here today, and I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye-bye now.